Hello everyone and welcome back to Andrew's Art and Models. Today we have the Meng Henschel turret, Henschel design turret, built turret, King Tiger, and my gosh, I am loving this. So you can see the Tank Museum's got their little label on there. Love the Tank Museum videos. If you haven't watched them, check them out. Do yourself a favour, they are great. Definitely 1/35 scale. It has some PE parts included, natural looking commander figure, and a loader. And yeah, this is a dream come true. I've wanted to do one of these for a long while. I just haven't gotten around to it. And so thank you to my customer who's ordered this from me. Looking forward to it. Some nice details on the box there, some color art on either side, and a little bit of detail on the vehicle itself. So, what have we got inside the box? A mountain of plastic is the is the first thing that greets your eyes when you open this kit. I was really impressed with this kit. The price range was quite low, and the bang for buck is quite high. So I'm just going to say that now in case I forget to say it later. Color guide, some nice color guides on there. A little bit of information on the units, things like that. But it's, yeah, look at that. I mean, that's great. I love it. I love color guides. So any manufacturers out there watching, color guide, color guide, color guide, please. I don't care if the instructions are black and white, but color guide is always handy. Right, so we go through the standard warnings at the beginning, and there are a few. However, straight onto the road wheels, straight onto the lower hull. Skip that over, and just continuing in that fashion until we have everything assembled. Assembly process on this one is not too bad. Actually, I was expecting it to be a lot more hectic than what it is, but it's all relatively straightforward and simple. And there is a nice track assembly guide here for you as well, which I thought was fantastic. I was stoked when I saw that. Individual track links are the bane of my existence, and I honestly considered saying yes or no to this project based just on those, but seeing that guide just makes me feel a lot easier and happier about it, because it's not something that I'm good at. Moving on, the construction is unusual compared to what I'm traditionally building. With most tanks, I tend to find with most vehicles I'll have that already molded into the top there. So I'm not sure why they did that step, just because they could maybe, who knows, but it's certainly different. And the way they've done the back deck as well is a little bit different to me as well, but I can't complain. It looks like it's going to go together very, very nicely. Detail is quite good. Construction, as we're saying, is very simple. There's not much to it, and away we go. We've got the side skirts going on there. Turret assembly getting done. Once again, there's a few more pieces in this than I would have thought, and it looks like, and I don't know for certain, but it looks like they've contemplated doing a interior version of the turret there. So they've gone to the trouble of detailing up some of the components in there for an interior version. So I'm assuming that if they haven't released one already, that they probably will. So yeah, but all very nice. Nicely detailed, very simple to put together. The instructions are really basic to follow. They really are good. So pluses on that. Now, before we get to the kit, I want to cover the decals and a few other bits and pieces. So these are very nice little decals. We'll just put that aside for the moment. Registry looks good. They look well printed. They don't seem overly thick. I'm going to be interested to see how they go when I print them, or when I put them onto the vehicle. And the next part we have is the photo etch details. So some nice photo etch grills there, a few other little bits and pieces, but very nicely done, and that'll look great on top of the vehicle. Now, more decals. So this is a decal sheet, and I should have opened this before. And this is specifically for the Zimmerit on this vehicle. So some of you would have seen my Zimmerit video where I apply it by hand. I don't recommend that method. That's just a method. that is available. And when I saw that these lovely little beauties were available, I snapped them up. I'm definitely going to be using these. My construction process is obviously going to change. You could probably put these on after all the parts and everything on it, but I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to put these on earlier. Probably bed them down and with a coat of lacquer clear, and then finish the assembly just to protect them. Finish the assembly and see how we go from there. I think that's probably going to be the easiest way to do it. But very nicely done. Lovely detail around there. There's some little bits that are missing and whatnot. It's really good. I love it. Beautiful. So thank you, Meng, for those. They were certainly worth the little bit extra coin that I paid for them. And you can see how they go on as the vehicle there. Pretty good. And you've even got a little template for when you want to do the decal with the knight. So that one there, that goes onto the vehicle, and it's got a clear space behind it. So that's what that template there is for, and that's a brilliant touch. That is really, really good. Whoever thought of that, well done. Right, so I know it probably sounds like I want to marry the manufacturer of some Meng, but just bear with me. The only upgrade that I've really done other than the optional decals is a new barrel. So I want it to look 100% and I want it to be nice and schmick. So we have a new barrel set from Arbor. Arbor barrels, I really like them, and the precision on these parts is really mind-blowing. I don't know how they do it, to be honest. I know that it's mostly done on lathes and all that sort of thing, but yeah, to be producing this in mass, to me, is mind-blowing. I don't know how. I don't know how you could do it. Right, so let's delve into this treasure trove of plastic, shall we? Some tracks and road wheels. 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 You get the idea. So there's a few bits and pieces there. You can see here, they've already got some that's pre-assembled, which is nice. That just saves you a bit of time assembling bits that you don't really need to. And I know there's some people out there that are going to object to that, but for me, that is perfect. I love it. Thank you very much. It's sort of a compromise, best of both worlds compromise. I like it. We have the drive sprockets, return idler on this part here, and we have some spare tracks as well. So those would be the spare tracks that go on the side of the vehicle, I assume. I'd have to double check that. But yeah, all nicely molded. Injection pin marks are hidden. Seam lines are minimal. Flash is minimal. Wow. If this is a relatively newer company to the market as far as I'm aware, and what a job they have done. We sort of think of all the King Tiger kits that are out there, oh, do we really need another King Tiger? And then you look at something like this and you go, yeah, we did. I love it. Some nice detail, some armor detail on the surface there. That's not overly done. It's really quite subtle, and I love it. You can see it on the front there. Most of that's going to be hidden, unfortunately, even up under the sides there, where you're not really going to see it most of the time. Most of that's going to be hidden, unfortunately, under the decals. But there we go. We've got the little tab there to clean up. That's pretty standard fare. Yeah, how can you complain about that? You really can't. So, was that 2016 they made this mold? So it's a young'un, it's a bubba, and it's certainly looking good. Armor plate for the front. That, yeah, it's a bit. Once again, there's some, as I was saying, there were some things that they sort of set up in the installation of parts and pieces, and I don't know if it was really necessary, if they've sort of done things to maybe increase their part count. But yeah, so you got that there. Rear engine deck, that's obviously goes at the front where the crew comes out just before the turret. And there we have the side skirts and a few other little bits and pieces. That's lovely. Love it. All right, so we've got some injector pin marks on the back here. And I'm not actually sure what part that is. Let's triple check that. I think I should have. I swore I did my homework before there. Yeah, there we go. All right, so that'll go on the side there. I think that would need to be cleaned up. Yeah, that's a little unusual. So yeah, if you're going to choose the assembly, don't do these parts. Yeah, all right. So that's if you're not doing the interior kit, which we're not. But yeah, that's a little bit interesting. There's a little bit of a mark on there as well, but that's going to be inside the vehicle. You're not going to see it. You can clean it up if you want. It is totally up to you. No one will judge you. This is a judgment-free zone. Right. So here we have the template we were talking about before. And that's a nice touch. Thank you very much for putting that in there, guys. The interior detail of the turret base, that's not going to be seen. And obviously that is the exterior, and that's an insert for the interior as well. But you're not going to see most of that. Yeah, lovely. One thing I found interesting about this is when I was doing a little bit of homework on this kit, I saw them printed in all sorts of different colors. I saw them in greys, I saw them in reds, I saw them in tans. I don't quite understand why they chop and change between the colors so much. It doesn't really make a difference, but it's just a little unusual. Normally, the manufacturers will sort of pick a color and stick to it, and yeah, so that's a little bit strange, but it doesn't affect the end product really. So nice details once again. These parts have been beautifully done. All right. Polycaps, and we have the top of the turret again, and that has some lovely detail on it as well. So this would have been on the manufactured vehicle. It would have been a, now correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but a rolled steel and face hardened. So it would have had some deformalities in it like this, but certainly nothing like a cast turret. But I think they've really hit the nail on the head with that. The barrel is single piece. That's actually quite nicely molded, but as I said, it's getting the bells and whistles on that. And the rest of the tank, the cast sections here for the exhaust, they're nicely done. Yeah, how can you complain? I mean, I usually do. I'll find something. I'm never happy. Never, ever, ever. Right, moving on. And here we have the top of the hull. Now, look at that. Once again, nice details on that. Beautifully molded. Very, very little flash. No unsightly injector pins. And just look at the surface texture on that. Fantastic work. And this kit is so cheap too. The price that you pay, I would happily pay double. Now, don't tell them I said that, but I would happily pay double for it because the quality is really right there. But I'm guessing there's so much competition in the market, they really have to be Johnny on the spot for price. Clear parts, I've left them bagged for now, and we have the crew figures. The crew figures are not too bad. They actually remind me a lot of the Tamiya ones for some reason. Don't ask me why, but they just remind me of the Tamiya, the molds for the Tamiyas. But yeah, anyway, it's neither here nor there. Quite nice. So, what is the verdict on this one? Well, firstly, Meng, I'm going to give you 10 out of 10 for this kit. It sort of hits a nice middle ground between those that want lots of parts and those that want fewer parts. And you've put a lot of thought into it. I'm actually really impressed with how this has gone. The molded detail on the outside is stunning. The molding of the kit itself is really, really well done. And I am so looking forward to building this. As I said before, I was kind of dreading it, but no, I am on board with this one now. So thank you very, very much. Is it a beginner's kit? Probably not. You could certainly cut your teeth on something like this if you really wanted to. You're probably better off going a simpler version of this vehicle and working your way up to something with a few more parts like this. But it depends on the person. If you like lots of parts, this is fine for you. The fit is going to be where the rest of my interest lies. So when we put this together, I want to see how it's all going to go together, but it looks beautifully engineered. So I don't think there's going to be any issues there. Really, really chuffed. Would I buy this kit for myself? Yes, definitely. And I may have to try and sneak one in the house past the wife and not get murdered in the same process. But yeah, look, definitely worth a look at. And you can never have too many king tigers. Right? You just can't. You can't. You can if you're facing them, but if you're not facing them and you're building them as little kits, it's not a problem. So yeah, thank you, men. thank you for everyone who's watched this review. If you have any questions, please shoot them through to me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have. We have plenty more kit reviews coming, so please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And we're also going to have build reviews coming up as well, and a heck of a lot of stuff in the next couple of months. So I'm going to be a busy beaver. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, we'll see you for the next one.